Hey guys, what's up? NPS Ready here and welcome back to another exciting tutorial. Today we are going to create a 3D animation like this. This is the reference and I will try my best to achieve this one. Let's get started this tutorial. We will need a couple of things. A 3D model of a phone which I downloaded from Sketchfab. You can download it too. We need some wallpaper. So I created my own which I will provide. You can check that inside the video description. So let's get started. First we will try to import the model. So I'll go to the file, import GLTF iPhone 15 Pro Max. I will select this GLTF, import, and you will notice this is super small, so I'll press S and make it big. Let's create a cube. Yeah, so this is around 2 meters. Select this, press RX90 and it will make this flat, and I will rotate this in Z direction 180 degree. Let's make it over here. If you will observe this, here you can see the particles are moving inside the phone. We have a wallpaper on top and there is a time and all, and inside you will notice there is a big space where particles are moving. So let me show you how we can make that. And by the way, I created a similar course which you can get it around very less dollar. I will mention into my video description. You can go there and check it. And since I'm talking about my course, I have another course for visual effect called Modern Visual Effect. It is insane. You can go there and check it and learn amazing stuff. So let's focus over here. Okay, so this is the screen. So I can just press GZ and move it. Let me make it random so we can see what's going on. Also enable cavity. I will select this and I guess I will don't need it, so I will select and delete it. This is the back part which I have to move it further below. Enable X-ray view. So select these parts. Let's select these part. And you can just make it below. And here you can decide how much room you want. So I guess this much room will be enough. I have another geometry over here, this one, and we'll press tab to go inside the edit mode and press 2 for the edge selection. And here I will go into this last edge, press alt, click, and it will select all the loops. Press EZ and just make it down and just make it until it fully cover this. This is little annoying, so I can either delete this, and for these two parts I can press SY. I can just scale it down and just move it over here so that basically we don't see this part mostly. Okay, so this looks good for now. I can select this part, shift D to duplicate, ZZ and just make it down. So basically I want to cover this camera bump part, so I'll just make it over here, and this one GZ and just make it over here. So yeah, we created this amazing box. Let's create the ground plane or the table. Press shift A and create a plane. Press M and just move this into a new collection called BZ. And here you will notice this plane is crossing, this filling this. Let me select this. So you can see this plane is also inside this phone. So somehow we have to cut this area. So either we can boolean it or we can simply create this. So you can choose whatever you prefer. So first let me scale it until it's almost cover this, creating a table. So we will make this kind of this size. Apply the scale. Just put it just below the phone and right click and subdivide multiple times. So we get enough geometry over here. I guess this will be pretty good. So I have option, either I can select the again this part and this one, and with the help of this we can subtract this. So let's try it. Shift D to duplicate, Alt P and clear and keep transform, GZ and just move it over here. And I also want to fill this one. So select this edge, press F and it will fill this. So I guess this is enough, and let me rename this to the mask and put this inside the background. Rename this to the table, and I can press tab to go inside the edit mode, select this edge, and I can extrude it so that we get the full extrusion. And this extrude should be like over here, so that we have good room. Apply the scale. I can also add some edge loops inside. Okay, fine. So then I will select this mask and go to the object data properties, viewport display, and change this display as bound, so that we are no longer able to see this in viewport. And then I will select this table and go to the modifier tab, and here go to the generate and choose boolean and select this mask part, and you will see we have good looking space going on. And if you feel there is still some room left, so you can just scale this and this will fix that issue. Let me disable this for now. Select this plane, and I can select this plane, go to the modifier generate and choose decimate unsubdivide. There will be some like wireframe. Let me make it 2, or let me make it like, let's go with the 3 and just apply it. So basically we unsubdivided this, and let's select this mask. I'll select this S and just scale it a bit. Okay, now good. Apply the scale. Let me disable this wireframe. Select this, make it bound. Select this table, add modifier and choose boolean, and I will select this, and I can also choose fast. This is looking really nice. Here you will notice something in this edge, so I can select this, press S, X, and just scale it in X direction a bit. So yeah, we have amazing thing going on. And once you're done, you can just apply this boolean modifier. So now we don't need this, but for now I will hide these things. And here I can press 7 and I can come back, select this and press F to fill this. I also SX and just perfect. So now we have perfect space going on, and now we are ready to do the simulation. Now I will select this Sketchfab model and I'll press Alt P and choose clear and keep transformation, and I will select all these empties and I will delete it. I can select everything, press M and move this into a new collection called iPhone, and boom. And I will select the top part and I will just disable it in viewport for now. And here if you want, you can also join these things together. Ctrl J to join. So now next part is to create particles. To create the particles we need add-on called Molecular, and it's free. I will put the link in my video description. You can go there and download it, the latest version, so which you can use in Blender 4.0, and I'm using Blender 4.0. So first let's create a cube and press M and move this into a new collection called Particles, and this will be our emitter. So I will just rename this to the emitter, and I can press S, X and S. Okay, so basically we created a cube which is roughly a size of this iPhone, and you can also see the depths, and we created because I want to generate particles from this. Like we will use this cube volume to create particles. So I'll press N, I'll select this and make this 3D grid. So you will see this cube is filled with lots of sphere, and this is the point, and this is the voxel size. Let's suppose you are not happy with this voxel size, you can go here and just reduce this. Like I can divide this by 2 and it will fill this with a bunch of, but what I will do for now, I will simply go with 0.1 just to check and do everything. And if you play, it will behave unnaturally. Let me show how. So first I will select this down part, like this one, and just make this to the collider. I can also select this one, this longer one, and just make it collider so that our particles will collide. And you can see this is how the basic particle, Blender basic particle react. But if you will select this cube, the one which we created for these particles, and here is an option called simulate, and if I'll click this, you will notice this is behaving very realistically, and you can see this is also baking and previewing at the same time. And whenever you want to stop, you can press ESC and it will stop it. Otherwise there will be option called pause, you can use that too. And if you play, you can see. So this is really good. I will show you how we can animate these particles, and here is an option called activate particle linking. This means if I will generate a particles, so let me show you. I will select this and just make it collider and just move it over here and GX this side. And if I'll simulate, you can see. And if I'll select this and just make this particle linking, let me simulate, and you will see this is behaving like these things are connected together. You can see. So you can use both things. I will use this particle linking here as well as, and let me simulate. And guys, you can also use this sub step to get more clear results, clean result actually. And this time is basically where you can control the animation speed of this particle. So yeah, these are the things which you have to take care of only. So let me create a force field called turbulence and press M and move this into force section. You can also use something else, just like a real character or something else, and you can add them as a collider, and when they will move, it will react based on that. So here in the turbulence section, I will go to the strength and just make it like 12, size 1 and flow 1, and select this and let me simulate. Let me hide this one. Okay, let me simulate. And just because this particle is linked together very highly, like the particles are connected to each other, so to break them we have to tweak a couple of things. First, this force need to be much more stronger than the connection. The other thing, if I will select this our emitter, and if I'll go to the physics tab, I will get a links option, and here I have a broken and random broken option. So let me make it broken 0.1 and random broken maybe 0.5, and let me simulate, and we'll start seeing a bit different result. Next, I will select this turbulence and just make this 45, and let's simulate once again, and you can see this is doing something like this is try to break the particles, you can see. And yeah, this is really good. You will notice these particles are coming out of the phone, which we don't want. So we'll go to the iPhone section and we'll select this top. I'll select this top screen part, enable it, select this and just make it collider. And now let me hide this and select this one, and let me go divide this by maybe 1.5, and let me simulate. So you can see these particles are not coming out of the phone and they are simulating, but you can see our turbulence is in one place, so it is reacting based on that. So we will animate this one. Okay, I will select this and let me go here and just make it 0.5, and let's suppose if I am making an animation for, let's suppose 200 will be okay, I guess. Let's go 3, X-ray mode, and press I for the location and rotation. I'm going to move both. Go to the very end and use I location and rotation. And since we did not added anything, I will go to the graph editor, and here first you can see the axis is Y, like Z, Y. So I want to move this into Y. So I will go to the Y location over here, go to the modifier, and here is an option called noise. So I will select this, and I will create one more view for the timeline, and if I'll play, you will see this is moving very fast. So I will just increase the scale. So okay, so I will play with this strength and this scale, and I guess this is not bad. Okay, don't focus on the particle, just only focus on this empty. I can also, next I can play with the rotation as well as. I have another option. I can go here to the Y location, and there is an option called copy. So I will copy this and go to the Y and just paste that, and just down the scale, and also down the strength. So it will also rotate, and I can apply the same things in also other direction, so it will like, so I can also paste the same thing on the x direction, and maybe I can offset this, so it will, you can see, moving, like these kinds of a way. Good, let me check this, how this is performing. I will select this once again and let's simulate this, and you will notice we are getting some good abstract looking result. Yeah, this is really good. And from this direction particles are going up. This is also looking really nice. So maybe I will remove that part from here, and this will looking really good. And if you don't want to move particles from this, you can select that part, and you can also add collider over here. So let me play and check. This is moving really fast. So I can go to the time and press 0.5, and I can also select this part and just make it collider, and I can select this one and make the substep 8 at this moment. And if you want to use, you can also use some other force field just like this vortex, and let's move this into the force. I can go to this physics properties and just make the strength like 12, inflow 1, and let's see how what will be the result. So free all the bakes and simulate once again. I guess the strength is too high for this one, so let's pause this, select this one and just make it like 2, inflow maybe 0.5, and let's select this one again and let's simulate. And you can also simulate this one, or maybe you can just change the direction and this will behave accordingly. And we reduce the time over here, so I guess that's why this simulation is super slow, and I don't think it will look good. So let me pause and check. It is good, not bad. Maybe I can just go with 0.6 and simulate and let's check. And just because of the particle linking, it's not breaking immediately. You can also disable this and check the result, and based on the look you can choose whatever you feel fine. Let me play and check. Okay, not bad, but free all the bakes. Maybe I will just delete this. I will select this again, and in this broken, maybe I will go with the 0.05, and I can also randomize the stiffness and damping. And broken, I will also make it 0.7. Simulate once again. This is still moving a bit fast, but yeah, I will go with this one for now. You can, based on your preferences, you can change it also later. So let's first add the camera. So maybe I'll press Shift A and just go to the camera, and I'll press Control Alt number pad 0, and let me go with the 1080 by 9020. I'll press N and go to the view, camera to view, and just align it however you feel right. So maybe let's take our reference, this one, and I guess resolution we will change also later. So let's go with the 1200. Maybe something like this will work. Also I can go to the camera focal length and I can use 85 and disable camera to view. So now we have a camera, and let's create one more slider. So this will be the camera view, and hide everything from this here. And guys, one more thing I want to discuss. If I will go and render these particles into, if you want to check these particles in rendered mode like cycles, I guess it will not visible there. You will see this emitter is visible in the render. So I'll go to particle section, viewport display. You can create a new material called particles, and let me create another view, and this will be shader editor. So you can see it will not visible in the render. Let me go to the render image. You will see it will not visible. Let me also The reason why, because these are called hollow. So either you can go into the render mode and here choose a object like sphere, but in my case I want to do something else. So if I'll go to the molecular plus add-on, here is an option called tools, and if I'll go here tools, you will see convert to geonode. So right now we have emitter only one thing, so let me click here and it will create one more, and I'll just move it into particle slider. So now what it does, it's created all the particles into geonodes. So now we have two things, or one particle is also visible and the other one. So first I will hide the other one, so now I can only focus on this one, and this you can only do once you are sure, like you are not going to do anything else. Don't worry, because we have also the base one, so I can delete this anytime and I can come back to this part anytime. So for now I'm going to hide the emitter original one, and now we will only focus on the geo instance, and here I will show you how you can tweak few things. So let me play and check if this is looking nice. So you can see this is looking really nice. Next thing, here I will create another slider, and this will be, and this one I will just change this to the geometry node, and I will select this node, and here you will see something. So if you are not familiar with geometry node, don't worry, I will show you a few cool things which you can use it. So here you can see this geometry is converting this geometry into mesh to point, and then it also setting this everything into a material. And here you can see this line, because this node is also exporting material to the group input. So here in the modifier panel you will see, after this particle instance we are able to see the geometry node, and here we are getting the slider, so we can easily change material here. We don't need to go and do all these things inside the node. Let's move next and see what we will do. So we will need this mesh to point, okay, and in between these I will use instances on points, and I'll plug this after the mesh to point. So you will see everything is disappear because we need something to instance. So I will use a icosphere over here and plug this mesh into the instance, and you will see the size is very big. So I'll just make the size this much. So I'll simply copy these things and make this radius to this. So now you will see we have these particles, and now if you go to the render image, particles is available there. So now I will select this again, and here I will enable the subdivision, and it will make these things a little smooth. And here I can also use shade smooth and plug it over here, so it will make these things smooth, or you can also make the subdivision high. So I'll keep this low at this moment, and while rendering we can just make it high. So what we can do more, I will simply show you a magic. So let's move it slightly over here and add a scale instances over here. So what this node does, it will help me to customize the scale of the individual particles. So I will use a noise texture, or there is a Musgrave texture. You can use both of these, and you can plug this height into the scale, and you will notice our particles changed their size, and I can control this. You can see how this is affecting based on the node. So I can use this, and also I can use a map range, because I want to map this range from 0 to 1. So it's from minimum 0 to 1, it's try to do the minimum 0 and 1. So here I can play, like I can make this maximum high, I can also make this minimum a bit like this. Let's make the maximum more high. So now you can see we are getting something which is unnatural and looking really cool. You can also play these things as well as, not bad. So yeah, this is fun to play and do. So I like this over here. Just make these small particles a bit bigger. So we have a randomization, and also this looks really nice. So yeah, this part is done. Now let's focus on the lighting and material part, and then we will render this. So let me join this area so that we can focus and just make this shader editor. Fine. So first let's add the lighting. So I will go to the rendered mode and go here and change this to GPU. So let me hide this emitter, and this is what we are getting. So I will simply select this and rename this to the wall paper, and this one I want to apply the material which I will apply on this base. So I will simply select that, shift select this one and press Ctrl L and choose link material. So this whole thing will have the same material, and now I will select this and rename this to the base and change this to the something else like white, and let me go to the camera view and also make this to the render region, and I will add a first light. Let's add the light just for now so that we can focus, or if you want you can just add the scene world over here. But what I will do, I will simply go here to the environment tab and add a environment texture, and into the shader editor I will go to the world, and here I am getting the environment texture and also the background, etc. So here I will load a 360 map. So I'll go to the open and I'll go here, and I have a couple of which I downloaded from HDRI Heaven or Poly Heaven. So you can go there and load it whatever you feel looking right to you. So I will go and use this one, the inside one, and also I need the texture. So I'll go to the ambient CG, and there is another website called Poly Heaven which we usually try to download from HDRI, but there is also texture. So I can go to the texture slider, and here I will choose wood, and there are a bunch of which you can download it, this one. So I'll simply download the 4K version maybe and download it, copy this path, and I will select this table, and I'll go to the object and create a new material. This will be table. Select this Prince BSDF, Ctrl Shift T, make sure node regular add-on is enabled. Then I'll simply go to the textures and I will use this all the textures, and you will notice this is looking really nice. I go to the material and go down to the settings and just make this to the displacement and bump, and just down the scale, down bump a bit. Maybe I should subdivide these things a few times, and you can also play all these things. Here I want to play the scale, so I will just add a new node called value, so I can easily scale or do all these things. So just make the 7 in X, 1 in Y, and I guess let me go to the 4, and this is really nice. If you go to the camera view, this is really nice. Now let's enhance our lighting a bit more, and here I will simply add a mix shader if this can work, and here I'll simply duplicate this background and plug this into shader 1 and use a sky texture and plug this color into this color. So now we are inside the room but also getting a sky texture. So here I'll just increase the ozone a bit, down the dust, and increase the air, something like this. I can make the evolution 5 and just play with the rotation, so you can see. And here I can just down the strength if I want, and also I can play with the factor, which one I want to affect how much, something like that. Okay, here I am noticing a glitch in edges, so I will select this and go to the object, and maybe I'll just remove this displacement. I need that very low maybe, or maybe I can simply add a subdivision surface. Let's see, shade smooth, not bad. So basically we are playing the light and doing the textures work. I have one more thing to share with you. Maybe this tutorial will be a bit bigger, but I guess you will learn a lot of stuff. I can also try to create some trees if I want. So I created this tree which I can use just to cast the shadow. So maybe so here you can notice, like this. You can also use some more, and you can just play and animate these things. So I'm going to delete these things for now. To create these kinds of things, you can just do it. So let's match the lighting as well as. So I'll go to the world tab, and here I will just simply rotate our sun something like this, and also make the illusion a bit high so that it can come something like this. So this way our light will also interact with this like particles. And here I can make the sun size too, so these things will be a bit softer. Down the strength, something like this. And even if you want, you can create a plane and just move it something like this, and go to the object new, and this will be block. And into this alpha I will use a noise texture, and I can also add a color ramp over here just to shrink these things. So basically I don't want to move this camera side, I want to move this into shadow size. And this is a way also to create these shadows and highlights part. I can just crush these things even more, and I can increase the scale something like this. I can also play with the detail and roughness, something like this will work fine. I can change this to the 4D, so this way I can animate this slowly. And click here and add hashtag frame and divide by 200, and let's see if this can work. So it will move fast, so maybe let me go to the EV for now. I'll select this and go to the setting and choose alpha hast. So basically I just want to check inside EV if this shadow is moving properly, because in cycles it's taking a lot of time to preview. So let's add hashtag frame, divide by 200. So now it will not work this way. I guess as hashtag frame divide by 500. So it's move a bit. You can just move this plane as well as. So press I, add a location and rotation, go to the very end and just move it a bit like this. And also maybe like this way. I, location and rotation, 8T, and make it linear. And maybe even I just want to make these things more and more slow, something like this. Let's go to the cycles, and guys, you can control it a lot how much you want to do it. It's totally based on you. Even I can go to the vector and use another noise. I can use another maybe a magic texture or something like that, and this will completely change the look. You can see it will completely change the look. Okay, let's go with the world settings over here, and you can see what is working for you. Sun intensity, you can just boost it even more, like 2 should be okay. And I will select the camera properties, depth of field, and just select this one and just make it like 0.5 I guess. So even I can just go to this Blender Kit add-on, and here I can use some models like free first, and I will choose the like flower, and I have these, and there are a bunch of which you can use that, or like you can use books which you usually put on the table. Let's use this one. So basically this way this will add another OMG why not add a magical feeling for this whole thing. So I'm going to use kind of a magical books. Here I'll just choose magical. Let's see what we can get. I will use this one, maybe we can use this one. Okay, I have these 2 models too. So first in this book slider, so basically this will give us a feel of magic. Okay, let me search again. I want to use this one as well as, or just make it much more smaller. I can use this one as well as, this is a paper or something. And you know, these are the things which you can just keep playing and playing. And I guess I have, you know, more room for other thing as well as. Okay, so I created a, you know, rough base, I mean rough scene which looks a bit fine. So now it's time to enable our emitter, and yeah, let's also try to use some random color over here. To do this, what I will do, select this and go here, and you can see we have the material section available. So I'll go to the object and create a new material. This will be particles, and here I will also use the particles, I guess this one, and here I will use a option object info node, and there is a bunch of sliders, so I will use this random one, and you will see, you will notice. So I will use a color ramp node, and this will turn everything into gray and white, I mean black and white. And here I will change the color, so I will try to use which is available in the scene, just like the green, just make it, you know, bright. Black, I will change this to something like gray. I'll control click here and use another one, so there is, I can find the blue one, so let's make blue little, you know, up. Also there is a something like orange going on, so you can just make something like that, and I can click and just make this, you know, dark green. And let's suppose if you feel the saturation is very high for these particles, you can add hue and saturation over here, and you can just make the saturation down, and this will turn these things into, you know, less saturated. I can make it 2, and it will make everything into high saturation. I can make value 2 as well as. So this looks I guess 0.5 maybe. Yeah, this one looks really nice, maybe 1.5. I can also play these sliders, and there is an option called B-spline and also the constant, so I will go with the B-spline for now. I like this one. And the next is to enable our friend, this on top screen, and for the top screen I will select this, and into the wallpaper section I will delete everything, and I have this scene color, so I will simply select this and go inside here and plug this into the base color and press 7 for the top view. I'll press tab, select everything and press U and choose project from view, and I guess I have to press Ctrl T, and for the UV map I will use this UV map 001. So UV map slider, and just plug it here and choose UV map 001, and you can see this is available. So tab 3 for all the selection U and choose project from view, and let's go to the UV editing and let's see. Okay, so this is why it's not working, so I'll scale these things high, and I will also go to the rendered mode to check. So you can see it start working. Scale it GX S Y. So I guess this is looking really nice. Let's go to the layout tab, and here I will go to the alpha tab, and I have another texture called scene alpha. I will use this over here, and make sure this vector is selected also to this vector, and plug this alpha to this alpha. So boom, now we have this screen going on. And I can also mix these things, like I can mix this alpha. Right now I have only this, so I can also, if I want, I can just mix this, plug this over here, and here I will use a noise texture, and I can also plug this into this vector, and I can also use the color ramp, and here maybe I can press Ctrl T and choose this to as an object, and I will select this object, and here I'll just make it 1, increase the roughness, and just make this slider more down, something like this, and I can also just make it up and low, something like this. And also I can use same texture as a roughness map for everything. So yeah, there are a bunch of things which you can play little later also. Select this one, and yeah, I just remove this. So this is how you can create these kinds of amazing animations. And later, if you want, you can still go and play a lot with these particles and create some amazing one. So I guess you enjoy these full things, and let me be more little more creative and do the one more stuff called fog. So yeah, if you want to do, you can just play with this. So this is before and this is after. Not much. You can also play with the gradient. You can also plug this noise over here. But yeah, this is, I guess, it. Really it. I can go to the color management and choose here to the medium high contrast. And now here I can just do whatever. Like here I can put 90/20 by like this, and if you want, you can also play with the camera animations, and that will also do the job. You can also make this whole thing, and you can set this as your wallpaper. So I guess you really enjoy learning this tutorial. And for the rendering, I just changed this to the 256 and set to desired location and render this. I really like to creating whole particle system and everything, and this animations looks really nice, man. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Thank you so much for loving me. I am NPS 3D, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep working, keep smiling. And this project file you will find into my video description. I will only keep the iPhone and the particles and this a table. I will remove rest of the things maybe. So yeah, so take care, bye bye, and I will see you next time.